being joined by the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka. A pleasure having you with us.
Good afternoon.
Now, how have you and your team been able to manage the cases in your state?
So from the inception on the 27th of February, when the first case was confirmed, which was in Ogun State, the team, under the leadership of Principal Dapo Abiola, the Governor of Ogun State, went into action to activate our Emergency Operation Center. And from that, we set up the pillars to support the Operation Center, which included surveillance. The first thing we had to do was to contact trace the people that were in contact with the index case. And there were altogether about 40 of them. They were quarantined for 14 days, and eventually there was only one individual that was positive from that group. And the others were able to be reunited with their family after completing their 14 days of observation. And alongside that, we've been doing a lot of risk communication. We've given out over 100,000 flyers. We've spoken to religious leaders, Christian, Muslim religious leaders. We've been to all our schools, sensitized them before they closed. We've spoken to all our doctors. We joined hands with Nigerian Medical Association in training 6,000 teachers whilst they were at school. So literally, we've been doing a lot of risk communication to sensitize the population. And we devised a mobile app to actually reach out to our healthcare workers in a very, very prompt way. Any updates from WHO, we can just move them on the mobile mobile app platform to actually disseminate that information in a timely manner. So we continue to train our staff in case management, because when you have a positive case, it's the case management team that actually would manage the case. So we trained our staff. They continue to be trained in both infection prevention control and critical care, because about 5% of this patient might actually need ventilation and ITU management. So we continue to treat. And also the governor was kind enough, he put some strict restrictions on social distancing, cutting down the number of people in a gathering to less than 20. But obviously, you know that we are going to have a lockdown by 11 o'clock tomorrow night. So that is what, because it's been shown that if you can actually socially distance yourself and keep people away, the virus will not survive on its own. It needs human beings. And if we can stop the transmission from human to human, then we would be winning over this virus.
Now, Dr. Koka, that brings me to my next question. The lockdown, you said, begins effective tomorrow. So what is the government doing to ensure compliance?
So the government, obviously knowing fully well that a large percentage of the population need to go out day to day to fend for themselves. So the government has put together a relief package where, food materials and some, subsistence and stipend is put together to be distributed across the state to help people stay at home. Also, people with wares, market women have been encouraged that rather than not selling their goods at all, they can sell it just outside their home, which means you have less than 20 people gathering around you. And we would enforce it because we've got a task force to go around, which includes the security team, to go around and make sure people do stay at home.
Now, how will you be able to, as the team, how are they able to identify those who really need help?
Well, as you know, there's a community, the CDC. So each community is aware who their poor is. So we are distributing this relief material, palliative material, through the local government and wards so that the community itself is able to identify its own poor, because it's difficult, as you mentioned, looking from the outside, but within the community, they're able to know who needs what. And we're using that mechanism to actually deploy all these palliatives.
But social distancing may be thrown to the wind in the name of distributing these palliatives.
No, that's why we've gone all the way to the level of the wards and CDC and CDAs. If you know the structure, the ward structure, CDCs is smaller than the CDA is even smaller. So you end up not having 20 people gathering around one person trying to get a palliative. We were very conscious, having watched what's been going on around other states, that we're very conscious not to ensure that we don't end up in that position.
Dr. Tomi Koka, the Commissioner for Health in Ogun State, a pleasure sharing your thoughts with us on News Across Nigeria.
Thank you.